Hi, I'm Duncan, and I'd like to welcome you to my latest YouTube channel feature. About 6 weeks ago, I did a feature on the pop group Badfinger, a group that had many difficulties, and um, they were from the 70s. They should have been as big as, say, something like Queen or um, some of the best bands around. Unfortunately, they were very badly managed. And by 1974, they were in a very bad way. They'd had two deals, one with Apple Records, one with EMI. What had happened was that Apple were in a very bad state of affairs, and they had a lot of Badfinger albums, along with others, in their warehouses, which were going to have to be sold through the music papers at knockdown prices, i.e., they weren't in the shops, they weren't selling for the right amount of money. And Warner Brothers had now, because of various other things, that had their two albums, I think it's called Badfinger and Wish You Were Here, had been taken off, were about to be taken off the shelves. Um, what had Joey Malone on the album Wish You Were Here had a song called Gotta Get Out of Here. And he followed his advice and left the band. And a new member had joined, Bob Jackson. And the band started working around this time, 50 years ago, on an album that would be called Head First. And there was going to be a single from it, Lay Me Down. But what happened was that the album, although completed, never got released because it got caught up in all the financial difficulty that the band were facing. And there have been copies released over the years, which came from a cassette version that was taken when the master was being played or whatever, but the quality is not very good. But a little while ago, the master for Head First was found, and it was in relatively good nick. And Bob Jackson, who replaced Joey Malone as and is the only surviving member of the four members of Badfinger, has had it remixed, and it's going to be out, I think, on the 13th of December. That's been a few days from when this recording's been done. And Badfinger fans will be very excited about this, because it's not very often that a new album gets released under these kind of circumstances. The band were facing terrible time, but having listened to Lay Me Down, which is the first single from the album, I presume there's going to be more. It's a very fine track written by Peter Ham. He was in a terrible state emotionally and mentally at this time. To have come up with songs this good and recorded them with this kind of professionalism is very admirable. Because he would die in 1975. He'd take his own life, and Tommy Evans some 9 years later. It was a terrible shame. Mike Gibbons died of cancer about 10 years ago. So Bob Jackson's the only member of still alive, and nice that he is working on the album, maybe mixing rather than other people. He will have other people helping him, but he firsthand remembers the sessions and contributes compositions to the album. So it's obviously going to be a very mixed, I guess, reactions from Bob Jackson and members of the members of Badfinger, particularly those. Um, well, they're mostly not here. Ron Griffiths, I believe, is still with us. He was one of the very early members of Badfinger. He left the band to be replaced by Jerry Malond, who then was replaced by Bob Jackson. Um, I'm looking forward very much to getting the album. And I'll be very excited about it indeed. And they did carry on Badfinger. They did reform a couple of times. One in 1979, that was Joey and um, and Tom for two albums. One in 1979 and one in 1982. But they didn't remain together. And Bob Jackson, I think, who he wasn't back in the with them, and neither was Mike Gibbons. So, but the music on I've got the album back on the airways, the 1979 album, and they are that's brilliant. Joey and Tom, sorry, um, yeah, Joey and Tom have some great songs on it. So I'm looking forward very much to Head First, Badfinger's lost album, and I hope it will do very well. I can't see any reason why it won't. And I say, if you have never heard any of Badfinger's work, you probably know "Come and Get It," the Paul McCartney song. If you want it, here it is. Come and get. That was written by Paul McCartney for Badfinger, and of course, "I Can't Live Without You." I can't live if living is without you, which was written by Tom and Pete. So you probably know something of those. You probably know a couple more when you hear them. But they are well worth looking into, Badfinger, and I really call for the other albums to be made available for the fans again, which they don't seem to be at the moment. They seem to be very expensive, but to have them reprinted, maybe a Badfinger box set, one for Apple years and one for the Warner Brother years, would be very much appreciated. Badfinger are gone, they're not forgotten. And my earlier blog was Badfinger Triumph or Tragedy. Well, there was tragedy with Badfinger, but and I'm not putting down one thing and trying to make it smaller than it was for many people who are still feeling a lot of pain, friends and family. But I would say that through the music they triumphed, and they are all, as far as I'm concerned, to be heroes. Anyhow, I've waffled on for long enough, but have a look and discover Badfinger if you haven't already. Okay, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be lovely. If you'd like to click the like button, that would be great, or forward this to a friend. I'd like to thank all the people who recently have subscribed to my channel. It's lovely to have you aboard, and well, look after yourselves, and see you all very soon. God bless.